Hi friends, we are going to see how the market going to behave in next week and the fantastic result from ICICI Bank that we are going to analyze and slightly the meditation tips for the traders. It came one of the article in Economic Times that we are going to see. Welcome to our channel Stocks and Silence. If you see the index in last Friday, Nifty 50, BSE and Nifty Bank closed in the negative, that we know that. India VIX slightly increased 2.8 percentage. When we see the US market, Dow Jones, S&P 500, Nasdaq, it closed negative more than 2% negative side. So FII, as usually, 2,461 crores they sold. DI in last Friday, 1,602 crore. It was a net bought by the DIIs. So let us see the ICICI Bank. They have given the fantastic result. The profit up by 59%. Based on the technical chart, it may cross more than 1,000 rupees. Based on these results also, the earlier prediction also was good for the ICICI Bank. It closed 747.65 in last Friday. But now they came up with very good results. It shows that ICICI Bank is a good growth potential in the upcoming futures. So let us see how the result was. First, it's a banking stock, so we should understand that asset quality, loans, deposits, provisions, and etc. First, let us see the asset quality. As on March 31st, the bank's gross NPA, that is a non-performing assets ratio, was 3.6 percentage. It is quarter to quarter when compared. It was last quarter 4.13 percentage, but in last year it is 4.96 percentage. So the gross NPS reduced tremendously from 4.96 to 3.6. It's a good for the bank. Same way, if you see the net NPA ratio, that is 0.76. Last year it was 1.14. So almost 50% they reduced the net NPA also. Then if you see the capital adequacy ratio, that is CAR, that is 19.16. This year it was 19.12 last year. That is means the CAR, capital adequacy ratio, is a capacity of the bank, how much they have the asset quality, so that to be increased. Yes, they have shown the increment 19.16 for this year. It was 19.12 the last year. So if you see the asset quality, the overall the gross NPA has reduced, the net NPA also reduced, capital adequacy ratio has increased. It's a good for the ICICI Bank. So move back to the loans and deposits. A retail loan portfolio grew 20%, that is year on year, at the same time 6% sequentially. The business banking portfolio grew 43% year on year and 10% sequentially. The SME business grew 34% year on year, 11% sequentially. Then ICICI Bank's total deposits grew 14% year on year. Then CASA, average current account and saving account deposits, increased 23% on year. Total term deposits increased 9% year on year. So in terms of loans and deposits, that is also a very good stage for the ICICI Bank. Apart from asset quality and loans and deposits, the provisions, that is also very much important. Provisions means the bank recognize a loss on the loan ahead of the time, because if they have given the loan, if the loan has not coming back, then it's a loss for the bank. So that we call it as a provisions, that is to be decreased. As we expected, the ICICI Bank's provisions, excluding provisions of tax, declined 63% on year. That's a good for the bank. Apart from that, the COVID-19, they have the contingency provisions, that is they're going to be continued. That is also around 6,425 for this March 31st, 2022. So provision also good. Then operating profit, ICICI Bank's profit before tax registered as a growth of 63% on year. So operating profit also 63% increased. Then finally, the dividend is a 5 rupees per share they are going to announce. They already agreed. The record date they are going to announce in the coming week. So overall, if you see that bank quality is very good, the growth potential is very good. That's why that analyst has given the very good buy rating for the ICICI Bank. It may cross 1,000 rupees. As of now, 747 rupees the trading price. So another one more stock, Tejas Network, is a part of Tata firms. but they reported as a 49.62 crore loss in last fourth quarter of 2022. This loss due to, they are saying that the electronic chip, shortage of the electronic chip, that is very much important for the telecom company like Teja's network. So that shortage of chip has affected their growth potential. So it was traded 505 rupees in last Friday, but based on the prediction, it may go back and touch the 200 rupees due to this, the worst Q4 results. The next one is again the Tata Group. It's a Tata Metaliks. The net profit declines 30%, that is to rupees 52.46 crore in last Q4. It traded 863 rupees in last Friday, but based on their growth potential and the profit in last year, the analyst has predicted there's a good potential for the growth. It may go above 1000 rupees. Let us see how the stock going to perform, but the Q4 result is not good. We have seen that ICIC Bank, but when we see the ICIC Lombard, but the ICIC Lombard has given the very bad results compared to ICIC Bank. Again, the Q4 results showing very high disappointment for the investors. So it traded around 1318 rupees in last Friday. When compared to Sensex, the performance I have given as a chart, the ICIC Lombard has very less performed. In terms of base points, the Sensex is performed very well compared to the ICIC Lombard. So another, the very good stock, that is Borosil Reneawables, surges 13% because they have the board meeting in the coming weeks, probably on Monday or Tuesday, but traded 782.35 rupees in NSE, 780 rupees in BSE, but the investors and people are expecting some of the stock split, or they may give the good revenue, or they may give the good dividends also. So people believe that Borosil Renewables in the upcoming future also perform well. That is the reason 13% surge on the last Friday. Then this is another good potential growth for the NTPC based on the technical chart. This came in Economic Times. So the NTPC has given a good growth potential. It crossed the maximum high, that is around the stock slightly major breakout, we can say. The major breakout was 150. It crossed 150. So it has a good potential to touch 200 rupees. And very shortly, the upside potential is 25% upside potential. If you see the RSI chart, again it's a overbought zone, but there is no signal for the divergence. So it may go near to 200 rupees. That is a predictions based on the chart. Same way, the another breakout for Adani Ports. Adani Ports, its breakouts more than 850 rupees. 860 rupees was the major hurdles as a resistance. Now it is breaks above 860, close 882. So this also based on the volume and based on the breakout is a good potential of upside. So it may go around 15 to 30% upside. So the target may be around 1000 to 1500 in the upcoming days. Coal India, yes, everyone knows in the last 1 or 2 months, it's giving a very good return. Based on the technical chart, it has formed the inverse head and shoulder. Normally, the normal head and shoulder shows for the negative, but the inverse head and shoulder shows it's a good potential for the upside. It may go up to 255 to 270 rupees. The upside potential is 25 to 30% in the upcoming days, based on the volume and based on the technical chart. The Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, Bpcl, the same way. This also, like a Coal India, it has formed inverse head and shoulder. So obviously it may cross its the major hurdle of around 370 rupees, already crossed. So it closed around 392 rupees. So we hope that still this also, it may go up to 450 rupees, around more than 15% upside potential it shows based on the technical chart. So Adani Power, it enters in the top 50 most valued firms club. It zooms 109% in a month. So all the Adani stocks, if people knows that it increasing. So Adani Power also the one of the chart, and it closed around 259.1 in NSE, around 259.2 in NSE. But some technical views, it predicts 282 rupees. But in some of the Analyst predicts it may go back to around 100 rupees again, but let us see, wait and watch, because the good news is Adani Power enters in top 50 most valued firms club. Come back to LIC IPO, it soars the last 3 months as a riding the roller coaster. Then February 15, after the budget, LIC files one of the topmost IPO, the highest based on the values. Government decides to dilute 5% stake, reports LIC valuation around 12 trillion and IPO size was 65,000 crore. But now in March 7th, Sensex makes 2022 low, that is 52,843 rupees when compared to January 17. That time the Sensex went up to 61,308. Based on the downside, around 13.8% from the Sensex. The FPI intensity also was high selling, so it was delay in the IPO by the government. But now recently in April 21st, LIC decides to cut issue size to 21,000 crore. So initially they decided 65,000 crore, now almost becomes one third, 21,000 crore. So let us see how this is going to be come out. But people expect and government also ready to push in the month of May. Let us hope the LIC IPO may come in the month of May. But it looks difficult the day by day based on the volatility in the market and geopolitical issues. So this is one of the another interesting article came in Economic Times. Based on this article written by Ashish, he is the founder and CEO of Waves Strategy Advisor. He is a yoga advisor, and based on his opinion, he is suggesting the meditation is very much important for the traders. Personally, if you ask me, meditation is important for all the people, not only for the traders, whether it's for normal people also, the people who are working as an employee and higher position, as well as the sports people, whoever it may be. The meditation, of course, it's very much important. But Ashish is suggesting the 5 key points for that traders. Let us see one by one what he is saying. The first one is to trade effectively without getting into the emotional flux. What he is saying that emotional is very much important. The emotional intelligence is very much important. Don't put your own emotional and don't challenge the market. So you have to be emotional balance when you are doing the trade. That's the first point. The second one is enhancing decision making process. If you do the continuous meditation, yes, your decision making process, your decision making capability will increase. So you can decide whether buy or sell by your very good decisions. That decision making capability will increase if you do the meditations. Third one is perceive things that majority are missing out. What is perceive things? That means the knowledge about that particular things, whether it is a right time to enter, whether how the stock, how the potential, whether is performing well or not. The complete knowledge about the particular things, that we call it as a perceived things. So that is very much important for the traders. First you have to have that particular knowledge, then only you have to enter. So that knowledge will improve if you do the proper meditations. The fourth one is never get carried away or have a FOMO feelings. What is FOMO feelings? Means fear of missing out. So always people enter with greedy and fear. So don't get fear. If you have decided, and be stick to your decisions and be strong mentally. So that is very much important. Don't enter or don't come out based on the FOMO feeling. FOMO feeling means fear of missing out. Don't feel that something is going to be missed out. The last, the most important is be joyful about the results. That is very much important. Whether win or loss, be joyful and learn something from the loss or learn something from the win. So obviously you have to be joyful in your decisions. So these are the 5 major important points. The benefits of meditation for the traders. This is also interesting. I hope this is also useful for you. The last one is the fate of tech stocks in US. You people know that the Nasdaq is keep on down. This is a chart done by the Bloomberg. The US 10-year real yields compared to the Nasdaq 100. The 10 years yield is increased whenever that Nasdaq is down. You know that in last 3-4 months more than 20% down of the Nasdaq 100. This is the chart explains. This is also very much important because the Fed is going to increase their yield. So the Nasdaq may fall further downside. So the Nomura they have seen 75 bps. That is, you know that Fed has announced 0.5%, that is 50 bps going to increase the interest rate hike, but Nomura is predicting it may not be 50 bps, it may be the 75 bps. So in 2022 overall they are expecting 300 bps, and 23 75 bps. The overall in May 2023 3.75 to 4% increasement may happen in interest rate hike in US based on the current inflation's situations. So what will happen? So based on these predictions, that FIA may sell further in our Indian market. They may take it out all the money. So around 3 to 4% interest rate hike may happen in another 2 years. This is very important. We are thinking like it may be the 50 bps, but it's not a 50 bps. It may go up to 75 bps based on the Nomura predictions. So overall, as we have seen that the Fed is going to increase that interest rate, that if you see the FA data in our NSE 500 stocks from March 19 to March 22, every month how much they kept as an investment amount, now how much they have in our NSE 500 stocks. If you see the graph, the March 2019 it was 19.3 percentage. Now almost it touched that level, 19.5. If you see the September 2021 and June 21 it was 20.6 and 21.2 in March 21. Within a year it went back to 19.5. It shows that almost $5.4 billion they have taken out from the Indian market. The reason is geopolitical risk, sustained elevated inflations, and then rising commodity cost, supply side effects. So all are the matters they are taking out the money from the Indian market in every month. So what we are understanding is it reached almost March 19, how much they kept as investment in NSE 500 in March 19. So almost now we are in the same level. The next one is again the Tata Group, it's a Tata Metallics. The net profit declines 30%, that is to rupees 52.46 crore in last Q4. It traded 863 rupees in last Friday, but based on their growth potential and the profit in last year, the analyst has predicted there's a good potential for the growth. It may go above 1000 rupees. Let us see how the stock going to perform, but the Q4 result is not good.